So, this video is for my friends on Facebook that see me posting about AMC. They're like, what the fuck is he posting about? Yeah, what up, friends? Alright, so just to fill you in, I started following the stock a few months back, and I've learned since I've gotten into this a whole bunch of shit. Now, to bring you up to speed a little bit, some nefarious action happened amongst those hedge funds that control people's retirements and other funds. And the regular people like you and I that had, apps on our phone that could purchase stocks fairly easily, caught them by the toe. And what I mean by that is they took a type of position where they have to pay interest. We trapped them by taking the opposite side and simply holding. In the meantime, they couldn't purchase back those because that's the other side of it. And in the meantime, they paid interest, bled interest. And that's what's happening right now. However, a bunch of other stuff has happened. They continued to dig their hole a little bit deeper. And so they started creating, more selling pressure, more shorting pressure. Until they did this so many times over the amount of the float. Now, what's the float? The float is the total amount of shares that's available to us, the public. Well, we bought and held more than what is possible. Now, you might be sitting there at home on the other side of my Facebook saying, well, how the fuck is that possible? There's only 513 million shares. How the hell did they buy more? They created synthetic shares. What do I mean by that? Instead of when we buy a share, reporting it to the New York Stock Exchange or to the SEC, they took that share and they moved it to a secondary database. Never telling those people that they took that action in hopes that we would close out our position at either a loss or pretty close, and they never had to report it. Sort of like some side action. I guess some of you can relate in some way or another. You shady motherfuckers. Now, I just told you about that. Now, they did that a lot of times past the float. I don't know how many times. It's all speculation. But I don't personally know anybody that sold their shares so far. Consider that. This is going on a real wild ride. And I don't know anybody that sold them. Because we all know what we know now, having got into this. What is on the other side of this is what's called a short squeeze. When eventually they bleed out from paying too much interest, or they dug too big a position, they have to say, hey, we'll close out our position. And then there's this little thing that stands in between us and them, and it says, all right, well, we'll start the bidding at this number. And it starts going up. And when we don't sell it back to them, it starts going up higher. Because every man has its own number, right? That's how the stock market works. Starting to get it? So, as we don't pay them, that number continues to crawl upward, right? Well, when it crawls upward, we don't sell, it keeps going up. And that's where that whole to the moon thing goes. Now, eventually, they're going to get into a position that's so big that they can't cover. In which case, we better have gotten our ass out of it. Now, what I suggest is pick a nice number right in between. Then you can pull out. And theoretically, they can cover. I think there's going to be what's called systematic brokerage failure, though. And I'd like to get out before that. Now, none of this is, advice by any means. But I happen to know that there's, a retail army. And in fact, I think we became the wholesaler recently. Because by buying and holding those shares, they need them back. They're going to be paying a premium. So they're going to be paying more than what we pay for them. So who then becomes the wholesaler, right? Retailer and retail, the original retail army, us, the AMC army, the ape army, the buyers and holders. And people also might wonder where that comes from. That might be for another video. Actually, I'll tell you right now. An ape used to be what they called dumb money. It was the average retail investor who simply traded with their emotions. Now, people are actually more likely to, take a loss than they would be take a profit. It's sort of like going to the casino. Ever go there with $500, you go up, but you're like, the house has $1 million. I'm going to try to get them for everything. And then you end up leaving there broke or down a few $100. Well, that's how that happens. Your emotions say you're more likely to take that loss than you are that profit. That's one to consider. So that's how they got the term or named us apes or dumb money. They had a lot of other very, very bad names for us that, there we don't have to get into. But we were like, all right, cool. We're going to embrace that. We're apes. So I guess you could share this to any one of your friends or anybody else too that's not getting it. But they took a position that they need to get out of. And they need us to react to a price action to get out of it. The only price action that the retail army is going to take is a very big one. And there's a lot of people holding much bigger numbers than what I'm going to hold on to. That's why I think that I can execute my position comfortably. And I'm going to compound that into other plays. Because with this price action going up, other stocks are going to go down. Because there's hedge funds that have their money tied into other plays, which are holding those stable and giving them the nice support to sit on, that they're going to pull the rug right out from underneath. And we're going to watch those collapse. But those are very good stocks. So I'm going to dump some of my money in that and let it compound. But that's what being an ape is all about. We find plays that they've messed up that we can take advantage of now. Because we can all communicate. Now that we have a network to do so, we do. But for my Facebook friends, what up? For those people that are just meeting me for the first time, I'm Art. I've been doing this not for a long time, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. But I hope you like this video. I hope it's insightful. For those people that do know me that are watching this, feel free to reach out to me and ask some questions. Feel free to write some comments below. Feel free to subscribe. I don't care about any of that, though. But share me to your friends who might have a little bit of a misunderstanding of what's going on, that might want to invest their money. But just for a figure right now, people are saying this could go into the high hundreds and thousands and maybe even the tens of thousands. But right now you can buy it at below $20. So why not? I think this is a must watch. I'll catch you later.